Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Professor Dr. Uzma Bukhari, and today we will discuss the tumors of the lung. So, this is the learning objective of today lecture. That at the end of the lecture, the student should know what are the tumors of the lung, and how the tumors are classified, and what are the important tumors of the lung. So, when we discuss or when we classify the lung neoplasm, basically the lung neoplasm divided primary and the secondary tumors. Secondary tumors are metastatic, and the primary tumors are basically arising from the lung tissue. Then these primary tumors divided into benign and malignant, and you already know what are benign tumors and what are malignant tumors. I won't go in detail. So primary lung tumors divided into the benign and the malignant. Benign are rare and the malignant are very common. Then these primary lung tumors divided according to the epithelial and the stromal, either the benign or malignant. These divided or according to the epithelial or the stromal. What is the tissue of origin? Either it is epithelial in origin or the connective tissue of the lung parenchyma is in origin. So primary lung tumors divided into benign and malignant, then each lung tumor or the lung tumors divided according to the tissue of origin, either it is epithelial in origin or the mesenchymal or the stromal tumors. And what are the mesenchyme or what are the stromal tumors? Basically they arise from the blood vessels, nerves, connective tissue. So we will first of all we will discuss the lung cancer, which lung cancers are the epithelial malignant neoplasm of the lung, or we can say the epithelial malignant epithelial tumors of the lungs are common. Types of lung cancer: there are two major types of lung cancer: small cell carcinoma and the non-small cell carcinoma. Small cell carcinoma are less than non-small cell carcinoma. 85 to 90% of all lung cancers are the non-small cell lung carcinoma. And if a lung cancer has characteristic of both types, small cell or non-small cell, it is called as mixed cancers. So this is the classification of the lung cancers or malignant epithelial lung tumors. Number one is squamous cell carcinoma, then small cell carcinoma, then combined small cell carcinoma, then adenocarcinoma, and in the adenocarcinoma, further classification is according to the pattern of this adenocarcinoma, how it looks like or what are the structure of this adenocarcinoma. And it includes SNR pattern, papillary, bronchoalveolar solid, and the mixed carcinoma. Then large cells neuroendocrine cancers. Then there is the mixed cancer of adenosquamous, where we will find the squamous pattern and the adeno pattern. Then carcinoma with pleomorphic sarcomatoid elements. Carcinoid tumors, which again divided into atypical and the atypical classification, and the unclassified carcinoma. Unclassified cancers are those lung cancer which cancers don't have any characteristic feature of all these tumors, either small cell, squamous cells, or the adenocarcinoma. So such type of cancers are classified as unclassified cancers of the lung. Now, what is the pathogenesis or important etiological factors which causing the lung cancers? Number one, tobacco smoking. As you know, cigarette smoking is the important etiological factor for the lung cancer. It is also involving other body cancers, but as we have discussing the lung cancer, so tobacco smoking is the important etiological factor of lung cancers. Then different carcinogens are involved in the pathogenesis of the lung. For example, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. Then certain environmental exposures are also causing the lung cancers, including the uranium radiation, asbestos. As when we discuss the asbestos, we have already told you the asbestos is causing the bronchogenic carcinoma or the mesothelioma. So, different environmental exposure, including uranium radiation, asbestos, air pollution, and the gases. Sir, and certain genes are also involved in the pathogenesis of the lung cancer, and some important genes include KRAS, epithermal growth factor receptor, c-MYC, HER2, and the loss of P53 retinoblastoma and the P63 genes. P53, as you know, this is the uh, tumor suppressor genes. So when there is the mutation or loss of the normal functions of these important genes, so the patient will develop the lung cancer. This is the picture, diagrammatic picture, which also showing the pathogenesis of the lung cancer, how the cancer will produce, what are the different stages in the lung cancer. So here you can see this is the normal lining epithelium of the lung tissue, normal bronchial mucosa. These tall cells are columnar epithelial cell and these are the cilia. And this is the basement membrane, basement lining cells. This is basement membrane, these are basal cells, ciliated epithelial cells. So this is the normal look and the normal picture of the normal bronchial mucosa. So when there is the cigarette smoking exposure, when patient smokes cigarette, so what happened? Slightly the epithelium is going to be changed. Here you can see in normal there are the cilia. These are the cilia present on the epithelium, and here there are no cilia. Epithelial cells atrophy, loss of microvilli and the goblet cells, and the basal cell hyperplasia. What is hyperplasia? When there is the increased number of the cells. So here is the single lining of the epithelial cells. These are the single lining of the basal cells, and here the lining the layer is become 2. So this is the basal cell hyperplasia. Then what is the next stage? In next stage there is the changing of the morphology of the cells of the lining bronchial mucosa. Here you can see these are the rounding of the nuclei, but there is the irregularity of the nuclei of the cells. So basically the cells become dysplastic. There is the disorganization and the changing of the cells morphology, and now there is the ciliated columnar epithelium, and now the cells is going to be changed in squamous cells. So this is squamous metaplasia and dysplasia. So further step is carcinoma in situ. These are the mitosis and the entire epithelium is dysplastic. So now this stage is known as carcinoma is the in situ. But here the loss of the basement membrane. So this is the invasive focus of the tumor. So this is the step by step morphological picture of the lung tumor, and this is the pathogenesis, how the lung cancer produce simple ciliated columnar or the respiratory epithelium. First of all, there is the hyperplasia of the basal cells, then there is the squamous metaplasia dysplasia, and there is the production of the carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma. So first of all, the common lung tumor is squamous cell carcinoma, and we already discussed how the squamous cell carcinoma is produced in the lung. Frequency of squamous cell carcinoma is 35%, and the smoking increases the risk of the patient, 25% increased risk. Males are more frequently involved than females, and arises in bronchial squamous metaplasia. This is the important pathogenesis factor of the lung tumor. How the bronchial columnar mucosa is first divided, is first changed into the squamous metaplasia, and then it produces the squamous cell carcinoma. These squamous cell carcinoma are centrally located. The location of these cancer is central and may cavitate. Now, what are the microscopic features? What are the features on the slide? H&E features or light microscopic features. So we will find the sheets or islands of large polygonal malignant cells containing keratin in the form of individual cells keratinization or keratin pearl formation and intercellular bridges. The cells show abundant eosinophilic cytoplasm. At advancing tumor border, tumor cells usually destroy alveoli or fill the alveolar spaces and may have focal areas of intracytoplasmic mucin and glycogen. So these are the some important features for the diagnosis of squamous cell carcinoma: polygonal malignant cells showing the keratinization, abundant eosinophilic cytoplasm, and destroying the alveoli. Okay, this is the gross picture of the lung tumor, squamous cell carcinoma. This circumscribed grayish white area is squamous cell carcinoma, and this is the lung tissue. Again, another picture of the lung tumor. This grayish here, this is the normal lung parenchyma, or we can say non-neoplastic lung parenchyma, and this is the picture of the lung cancer, grayish white area. Okay, this is the microscopic picture of the squamous cell carcinoma. This is the light microscopic picture. These are the atypical or malignant cells, nest of the atypical malignant cells. And you can see here the abundant eosinophilic cytoplasm, hyperchromatic bluish nuclei. And this is the picture of the chest X-ray. And you can see here this circumscribed area is the tumor. As I have told you, the squamous cell carcinoma is mostly the centrally located. So the second common cancer of the lung is adenocarcinoma. 30% frequency, and smoking is also increases the risk of adenocarcinoma. Survival rate is 5 years, and the location is peripheral. The location of the squamous cell carcinoma is the central, and the adenocarcinoma is peripherally located. Okay. What are the microscopic feature and what are the different pathological pattern, histopathological pattern of these lung tumors? So there are different histological subtypes in lung adenocarcinoma, include lipidic, SNR, papillary, micropapillary, and the solid subtypes. Some tumors showing the good prognosis, while the others are showing the bad prognosis. What is lipidic pattern? It is composed of neoplastic cells lining the alveolar lining with no architectural disruption or the complexity, and no lymphovascular or pleural invasion. So this tumor is not causing any lymphovascular invasion. Basically, the tumor cells are present in the lining of the alveoli. SNR pattern is characterized by the glandular formation. Papillary pattern display two fibrovascular cores lined by tumor cells replacing the alveolar lining. So here we will see the papillary architecture of the tumor. And the last one is solid pattern. Solid pattern is defined as solid sheets and nest of the tumor. So all these architecture are basically due to the pattern of the lung tumors, but all these pattern are in the broad category is known as adenocarcinoma. X-ray finding of the adenocarcinoma. Look at this. This is the tumor which is peripherally located. This is the location of the adenocarcinoma, while the location of the squamous cell carcinoma is here centrally. So the adenocarcinoma is peripherally located, and this is the light microscopic picture of the adenocarcinoma. Here you can see the glands formation. These are the gland formation by the neoplastic cells, disrupting the normal lung tissue. Okay, the next one is small cell carcinoma. Frequency 25%, 95% patients causing the squamous cell carcinoma. 5-year patients, smoker patients. Survival 5 years. And what is the location? Central or the hilar tumor. So small cell carcinoma is also centrally located. Gross picture of small cell carcinoma, which is a neuroendocrine tumor. So this is the non-neoplastic lung parenchyma, dark brown in color, and this is the tumor, this grayish yellow areas tumor. This is the microscopic picture of the small cell carcinoma. The nuclei are darkly staining, showing the small cell morphology. Darkening, staining nuclei, and the cytoplasm is scanty. In squamous cell carcinoma, the cytoplasm was abundant and eosinophilic. So here you can see the sheets of tumor cells with hyperchromatic nuclei and the scanty cytoplasm. Then large cell carcinoma. So we have discussed the first squamous cell carcinoma. Then we have discussed the adenocarcinoma, different pattern of the adenocarcinoma. Then small cell carcinoma, which is also a neuroendocrine tumor. And now the large cell carcinoma. The frequency of the large cell carcinoma is 10%. Grossly or the location of these tumors are peripheral lesions, and prognostically it is similar to adenocarcinoma. Okay, this is the gross picture of the lung tumor. This is the grayish white area, grayish yellow, yellowish area is the tumor location of the lung parenchyma, and how this tumor looks like in the light microscopy. This is the shadow of the tumor, and these are the large cells, clusters and sheets of the large cells with prominent nucleoli. This is the, as we if we describe, this is the single cells, this is the cytoplasm, pale cytoplasm, this is nucleus of the tumor cell, and this is prominent nucleolus. So clusters of the tumor or nest of the tumor large cells showing pale to clear cytoplasm, vesicular nuclei, prominent nucleoli. So this is the picture of large cells cancer, which is the neuroendocrine cancer. Then carcinoid tumors. Carcinoid tumor, neuroendocrine tumors not related to the cigarette smoking, and carcinoid tumors are the polypoid intrabronchial masses that may infiltrate bronchial wall and the surrounding lung tissue. These are slow growing tumors and the low grade malignant potential. These are not very much aggressive tumors, slow growing tumors. These are slow growing tumors and neuroendocrine tumors not related to the cigarette smoking. Okay, this is the X-ray finding and the gross finding and the light microscopic finding of the carcinoid tumor. This is the chest X-ray, and this is the shadow of the neuroendocrine small tumor, and bronchoscopic finding. This is the tumor mass, and light microscopic of the neuroendocrine tumor. Here you can see they are the sheets and the nestin of the tumor cells with vesicular nuclei, moderate cytoplasm, and the prominent nucleoli. Okay, here the neuroendocrine or carcinoid tumors forming the rosettes. This is the rosetting formation by the carcinoid tumors. So we have discussed the lung cancers, including squamous cell carcinoma, adenocarcinoma, small cell carcinoma, large cell carcinoma, and the carcinoid tumors. These are the important tumors. Okay, this picture is showing the different sites where the lung cancer metastasis. Okay, so lung cancer can metastasize to brain, to vertebrae, liver. These are the common metastasizing size for the lung cancer. यहाँ पे जो है लंग कैंसर जो है उसकी मेटास्टेसिस कॉमनली होती है ब्रेन, वर्टिब्री एंड द लिवर. The main primary tumor is in lung, and these are the secondary foci of the lung tumors or the metastatic foci of the lung tumors. Okay, so we have discussed the primary tumors of the lung. Primary tumors because it arising from the lung parenchyma. Now the secondary or metastatic tumors of the lung, more common than primary lung tumors. So metastatic tumors are more common than primary lung tumors, and these tumors may arise in the breast or other sites, and it's secondary involving the lung. It can be carcinomas or the sarcomas. Carcinomas are the epithelial and the sarcomas are the mesenchymal tumors of the body. Okay. Chest X-ray showing the multiple foci of the metastasizing lung tumors. Okay. This is the lung which showing the multiple foci of the metastatic lung tumor. So this is the secondary lung tumor. Again the picture of the lung tissue, and these are the foci of lung tumor, metastasizing tumor. The site of the primary tumors is anywhere in the body, but secondary it is involving the lung tissue. So we have discussed the malignant lung tumor which are common, and in little bit regarding the benign lung tumors which are rare, and the commonest benign lung tumor is the hamartoma and chondroma, which is also known as chondroma, but the hamartoma is the benign neoplastic condition. Hamartoma, it is the benign focal malformation. Basically, actually this is not the true neoplasm, but this is the malformation, and it resembles a neoplasm in the tissue of its origin. This is not a malignant tumor. This is the benign condition, and it grows at the same rate as the surrounding tissues. So first of all, the benign lung tumors are rare. Then in the benign condition, hamartoma is the commonest condition, and in the hamartoma, chondroma is the common. And what is hamartoma? Basically, this is the malformation of the tissue, and it looks like a neoplastic lesion, but this is not malignant. It is composed of tissue elements normally found at that site, but which are growing in a disorganized mass. Okay, this is the picture of the hamartoma. Circumscribed lesion. This is the gross picture of the hamartoma, and this is the microscopic picture. And here you can see these are the lung alveoli, these small spaces, and this is the cartilage. This structure is cartilage, so it is known as chondroma, lobules of the cartilage. So this is the malformation of the lung. Okay, thank you. This was about the lung tumor. So any question? Any question regarding the lung tumors?